is Namor the Sub-Mariner packaging, and this version is part of the Black Panther wave of Marvel Legends. Going to open this up and continue the review. And this is a review on Namor, also known as the Sub-Mariner, and he has a few accessories, and let us check it out. He has this. Before we get to the figure itself, let's check out what he has. He has this trident. Normally Namor doesn't use weapons in comic books because he doesn't have to with all of his skill and power, but he does occasionally carry around the trident, and this looks really nicely done. There is no coloring or shading on it though, it's just one color piece. He has these two swimming, opened, chopping type hands that they've used on other characters, so it's a good reuse here. And he has this bearded look, which I'll show in more detail in a minute. But this is the traditional look for the character with no beard. And he has open hands in terms of this, and to hold the trident. So what's really nice is the trunks here. This is sculpted detail. Instead of it just being painted on, it has a scaly, sculpted look to it, just like in the comics, in terms of how it should be done. Into detailing, the wristbands are sculpted on, they are not removable in terms of being separate parts. And let's look at this. He has little wings under the feet. Again, these enable him to fly in the comic books, because he could fly, land, sea, and air. This guy really has one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe overall. I'm gonna swap out the head and the extra hands in a moment, but let's take a look at this head sculpt first. Look at this. Nicely done head sculpt here. And these hands, gonna swap it out. This is the bearded look to Namor. And what's surprising is you would think that they would have just painted it on, but there is hair sculpt detailing here. They didn't just do a cheap way out. They actually made an all-new head sculpt just for this figure. If you look close, even the hairstyle, it's not the same. It's a little different. So they did switch it up. I'm surprised they really went to the effort, because this isn't even something I'm familiar with, the bearded look to the character. It's always this traditional look. So that is a surprise, but it is nicely made. Swimming type hands. But it's probably better if you just put one of each hand pose wise in terms of design. So you do have some options. I'm going to switch out the head. That's the more traditional look. It's about 6 3/4 inches tall. And let's check out the articulation. The head on a ball joint can go up, down, to the sides. It has ball jointed shoulders, up, down, in, out, swivel biceps, double elbow articulation, and the wrists, you can't spin it, go in or out. It has the upper torso on a pivot, good range, swivel waist, the hips on a ball joint, in, out, up, down, swivel thighs, double knees. It even has calf articulation, and the ankles on a ball joint, up, down, to the sides. And the wings are attached right above here on the ankle area. It doesn't connect to the feet, so it doesn't cause any problems there. And I'm going to give my final thoughts about this action figure in a moment. So overall, what do I think of Namor the Sub-Mariner action figure? This version is part of the Marvel Legends Black Panther wave. And finally, since the days of Toy Biz, they finally make, all these years later, took over a decade, to get this character of Namor right. There's only been about 3 other previous versions. The first was by Toy Biz. It was that 1970s costume, which I never liked, because this is the classic look. Just the swim trunks. This is how his creator, Bill Everett, in the Golden Age, made the character to look like. And it is one of the first Marvel Comics superheroes ever. So, that first one I didn't like. Then when Hasbro made one early on, it was this version, the swim trunks, but it was a terrible figure. Don't even buy it. It was so poorly made, not even worth getting. And then the third figure was by Hasbro, but it was the 1970s, again, costume, just like the Toy Biz costume, but updated. And it was a nice figure in its own right, but it wasn't that classic look. This is that classic look. You would think for just a guy in swim trunks that this would have been an easy figure to get, and it should have been made years ago, but that was not the case. It took so long, and they got it right. With that said, it finally took them all those years to get it right. They have the swap out head, the nice chopping swimming hand pose there, which are reused parts, but they work well here. A trident accessory, which Namor uses sometimes, and usually he doesn't, because he doesn't need a weapon. But, well-made figure, great addition if you're a Marvel Comics collector, or you're building a Marvel display. This is one of the key members. He's a long-term character. He's been a good guy, a bad guy, and anything else in between. So, this is a fine addition to any Marvel Legends collection. And this is definitely the version to get.